terahertz. Just going to get this set up and then we'll be ready to roll in just a moment. Okay, we are live streaming on YouTube, so if you want to go to my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe. We really appreciate it. And then we're going to make sure we record this. All right, we have important information to share with you today about terahertz frequencies. And we're really going to be talking a lot about the wand today, about the 7.0 wand and the 6.0 wand. I personally like to have the wand and the core box. I use them at different times for different things. I really like having both of them. Let's also invite Benay to join us. So Benay, let's invite you up here. Okay, so we have some important things to share about the heat from terahertz today, as well as some testimonials, and we'd love to take your questions about terahertz. So Benay, your background is back in progress. It's back in action.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it momentarily, but it went away for a while.
All right, it's welcome back and welcome back to you.
Well, thank you. Good to be here with everybody.
How are you doing this week? How's everything going?
Oh, it's going little by little. It's going.
Okay.
Not eventually.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, Benay, sorry I didn't get to tell you, but I'm going to be traveling. So next week and the week after, we're going to take a break from our terahertz training for the 14th and the 21st. Then we'll be back after that, and we'll just go spring, summer, whatever we need to do. But the next 2 weeks, we're going to be taking a break, and we'll be back on March 28th.
Okay.
Now you know. All right. So terahertz training is free for everyone. Everybody is welcome to come to terahertz training wherever you got your wand or your terahertz technology. We just want to talk about it in terms of the genius, in terms of frequency and light, and we want to have a place where people can connect and get their questions answered. I know when I became interested in terahertz, I really didn't have anybody to ask, and I wanted to know more and have encouragement to use this really cool technology. So that's why we're here, and that's why we want to answer your questions. No obligation. You don't have to be part of our downline, because we don't have a downline. So we're just here. We just want to offer high quality terahertz technology, be able to answer your questions and support you in whatever way that we can. All right, we already have a question. How long can the box be used at one time? I'm thinking if one is working on more than one person. How long can it be used at one time? I think you're talking about how long it would be used before it shorts out or bonks out or something. Don't you think, Benay? That's what she's asking?
I would imagine so. Maybe she can add more clarity. She said yes. I don't know. I don't use it for any longer duration of time than 15 minutes, because on the warm settings, you'll feel that front reflective plate, be warm. And I don't want to take the chances of burning something out or whatever. And
yeah, use common sense. I mean, take some breaks in between. You don't need that much time. I mean, everybody talks about 10 minutes. I don't really think you need more than 5 minutes, because the terahertz wave is driving into your body, and you're getting it. I think we just have this mentality, like it has to be really long. It has to take a lot of time. I know, Benay, you use it for pain relief. When you're using it on your back, how long does it usually take to get the pain relief that you're looking for?
I found, in all honesty, and this goes for both the wand and the box, I found that the longer that I use it, I do not see or feel the better results. And I think there is such a thing as overdoing it. I think you enter a realm of detoxation, a realm of breaking down, rather than just let the terahertz go in and then have an opportunity to build and to heal. I think there is that threshold. So I don't use either one for more than 15 minutes
Yeah, exactly.
max.
Exactly. And that's like your whole spine and any other places
Yeah.
that you're working on. I think it works much faster than we give it credit for. And we don't want to overdo for the people, our friends that we're working on. They probably only need a few minutes on whatever, wherever you're working, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there. And that's probably it. And then you want them to drink lots of water because they're probably moving a lot of toxins in their body anyway.
Yeah.
Now, there was a question right off the bat from Linda. Linda says, with the cool air setting on the core box, could one use red or blue light on the area with metal? Any thoughts on that? If you're not using hyperthermia, could the terahertz still heat it up or affect it in some way?
That's a very good question that I don't know the answer to. And I just would rather err on the side of caution and
I would
not.
say the same thing for sure. Yeah, I tend to be like that too. I think, Linda, to be really on the safe side of things, I would use it around that area because even just going the periphery of wherever that metal might be, you're going to be affecting the whole area and getting a positive impact on that area. So use it with caution, always be on the cautious side because then you'll always be safe. Okay, less is better, says Wendy. And Pat says, I use it according to what my pendulum indicates. That's, however you want to use it is fine. Sherry says, I enjoy using it with my massage clients during their session. You're so smart to do that. That's after we heard from Benet that was her secret sauce of something that she's doing now before every massage is she's using the terahertz. And it's going to make her job a lot easier and make that massage have a lot more impact. I focus on the spinal muscles, their complaint areas and meridian points. I also like to sweep the lymph patterns, great addition to sessions. Love using the terahertz. That's awesome, Sherry. Well, it's wonderful to hear from you. And I'm so glad that you're using it as an adjunct. Everybody loves it. It's like being out in the sun and getting the rays of the sun. And it's very, very relaxing and people enjoy it. It's just a really new, fun frequency that is easy to do. Anybody could do it. And it's, so it probably makes your body have to work a lot less hard during your massages. So it's good for the massage therapist too. Do you think so, Benet?
Yeah, and when I said earlier 15 minutes max, I'm not talking about 15 minutes at the same location. I'm talking about, all over the body. And when I do the massage situation, I do it for 5 minutes all over the back with their face and the face cradle already. I just do their whole entire back, especially because of the spine. And if they do have some, discomfort with legs, arms, shoulders, or whatever, I'll focus on that as well. But all together, 5 minutes. And then I go into what I do. It's not any necessary longer than 5 minutes.
Very, very cool. Okay. Very awesome. So did you know that light carries messages, and actually your cell phones, turns out they use light to receive calls, and there's light frequency that is coming out of our cell phones. There's light frequency coming out of our wireless routers, and car radios even are using light. So light carries lots of information. And so the blue light of the terahertz is carrying a lot of healing information in it. And it's very, very positive and beneficial. It's the frequency called terahertz, which is higher than infrared frequency. And it's also the light. It's the power of the blue light, which seems to boost our immune system, be very good for skin healing. And it's the warmth of the terahertz. That hyperthermia combined with the terahertz seems to vasodilate and allow more circulation of the body, so it appears to reduce stagnation. So this is a wonderful adjunct to utilize along with your Genius, because your Genius works on more of a subtle body effect. And so it's going to be more far-reaching, right? You can put it long distance. It's going to go deeper, but the effects are going to be more subtle. They're very likely to take a matter of days to build up over time. So you've got these subtle changes working on your biofield. With the terahertz, it's working more on sort of the gross physical body. It's working on your physical body right away, and you're feeling and experiencing the physical body effects from using it. So I believe they go very nicely together. They both don't do the same thing, but they can wonderfully complement each other. And you could play the frequencies for the meridians while you're working on the meridian points, or you could get some of the libraries for the lymphatics and work on lymphatic drainage while you're doing the lymphatic drainage points that we've talked about several times in class. You could take your aura before, you could take your aura after. You could charge up some frequency water with the terahertz frequencies and then put them on the remedy plate and charge it up with genius frequencies. So there's a lot of wonderful synergy between the two technologies and things that you can do. And, you know, it's more fun than healers were previously allowed to have. You can have so many creative things that you can do with your terahertz. So let's talk a little bit more. Hello, Bonnie, welcome. All of our wonderful regulars are here. I love it. Okay, light travels in waves, much like the waves of the ocean. And so it has a frequency, it has an amplitude, a height, like a wave does, and these different frequencies do different things. So the frequency of terahertz is in around the infrared range. So on one end of the electromagnetic spectrum are radio waves, which have wavelengths billions of times longer than those of physical light. But on the other end of the spectrum are gamma rays with wavelengths billions of times smaller than those of visible light. In between, there's something close to the infrared. And if you've ever been in an infrared sauna, you've experienced infrared waves, something close to that, which can penetrate below the skin and have a positive benefit that we're only now starting to research and take advantage of, is something called terahertz frequencies. And now we have different wands and vehicles that basically produce the terahertz along with light, and a blower, a blowing fan, in order to have a greater effect and also to combine with heat to have a very positive impact on the body. And this morning, once again, it is cold and rainy in Portland. And so I was freezing. I could not, you know those days when you just cannot get warm for whatever reason? Probably doesn't happen as much as in Texas as it does in Portland. And yeah, I took that terahertz and I did kidney one on both feet. I did the top of the feet. I used the wand, the 7.0 wand, and it was nice and toasty warm. My whole body was getting warm. Finally, after doing that, the feet, I did the hands, the palms, anywhere else I could do work really easily. And then within just a few minutes, I was feeling warm and toasty, and I just felt better overall. I almost felt like it takes the damp out, you know, the damp from all the wet weather we have here. And it just makes you feel so much better, because dampness is not good for the physical body. Well, have you ever done that when you were kind of cold and you got to warm up, Bené?
Oh, sure. And I think that really realize why that's happening is because it penetrates clear into the bone. And that's exactly what you're experiencing. You know, I've even had my chiropractor say that, you know, he uses it, you know, for 10 minutes or whatever, and he stops using it and he feels that his bones on the inside stay warm. You know,
absolutely, absolutely.
It is. Yeah. It's penetrating that way. So, yeah.
And just holding up the wand. We're going to talk about some specials today. We're really focusing on the wands today. And we have both here. We have a big wand, which is the 7.0. And in case you want one for a parent, a child, a friend, we're also featuring a special that will allow you to get the 6.0, which is just a little bit smaller. And to be really specific, the 7.0 is 1,000 watts, right? And the 6.0 is 750 watts. So you have a little bit more power with this one, but anyone in your family could take advantage of utilizing the other wand, which we're going to show in just a few moments. It has a few less controls on it, which we'll show clearly on that. But if you have somebody in your life that you want to have terahertz and you want to pay a little bit less, you'll definitely want to check out the 6.0. We're going to show it in just a little bit. Okay, now speaking of heat, that's exactly where we are. Heat therapy works by improving circulation and blood flow to a particular place. So you're instantly probably going to feel better. And, you know, if you have pain like from an injury, so if you conked your head, right, and it's throbbing, you don't necessarily want to add heat. That's when you want to add you want to ice it. I was thinking of, there's an acronym called RICE, which is rest, ice, compression, elevation. So if you fractured your ankle, or if you got a sprained ankle, you'd want to elevate it first, you put ice on it, but later on, in order to heal it, you can use heat therapy. So you want to increase the blood flow to that area in order to speed up the healing. So increasing the temperature of an afflicted area can even soothe and relieve any discomfort and increase your muscular flexibility. Heat therapy can relax and soothe. So imagine that client coming in, right, for one of Bené's sessions or one of Sherry's sessions, and wow, they get the terahertz, the relaxing, warm terahertz right when they're getting ready to have their massage. What a brilliant idea, because they're even going to get more from the massage because they're relaxing and getting ready and feeling better, and they're getting some pre-therapy before the actual deep tissue of the massage. So that makes a lot of sense. But hyperthermia, or heating up the body, has a lot of really positive benefits. And so you're not just getting the heat, but you're also getting that blue light, and you're also getting the benefit of that terahertz frequency. So they're all teaming up together, and you get this wonderful short-term and long-term benefit from utilizing it. So applying heat to a part of the body stimulates the blood circulation in that area. And it definitely seems to improve the blood vessels, because one of the pictures we see most with before and after is people with the varicose veins and all types of skin things that seem to be related. It seems like with the varicose veins that the arteries and vessels seem to improve very, very quickly, and people appreciate that in how they feel, because when you're getting enough oxygen to different parts of your body, you just feel better instantly. When you're not having proper circulation, that leads to all types of problems. It's everything that's been written about in Chinese medicine is all about the effects of stagnation in the body, where the blood isn't flowing. And you can imagine a beautiful river flowing, but if the river gets dammed up, then it all just sits there, and you get the algae and all types of things growing. And that's how it is in the body. The body really needs to keep that movement going. So this oxygen-rich blood brings nutrients to the affected area, promoting healing. Heat also removes lactic acid buildup from the overtaxed muscles and allows them to deeply relax. So Hippocrates said something about this heat. If there's a way to heat the bones, then all disease can be treated. Isn't that funny that we talk about this, about it going to the bones? And Hippocrates said, if there's a way to heat the bones, then all disease can be treated. Those who cannot be cured by medicine can be cured by surgery. Well, I don't know about that. Those who cannot be cured by surgery can be cured by hyperthermia. And those that cannot be cured by hyperthermia, they are indeed incurable. So even Hippocrates knew about the power of warming the body up. And I think this is the power of infrared saunas. And this is a bit of a different application. It's a different type of frequency, and it's a different type of light frequency, so it appears to do different things. Now, researchers have discovered that heat applied to the bone keeps stem cells healthy, and I think this is where this claim comes. Everybody's saying that the terahertz really benefits the stem cells. Research has discovered that heat applied to the bone keeps the stem cells healthy. Do you think this is where this concept of the terahertz being good for the stem cells comes from, Bené?
It's highly probable. That's great that you found that. Yes.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's really fascinating to learn about these different therapies. The enhanced activity of the heat helps to rebalance the cell's state of equilibrium. So heat has this really beneficial effect. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, when it's the middle of winter, all you want to do is be somewhere in a more southern latitude where you just be bask out in the sun by an ocean somewhere, and you get that power of the heat, right? And the light, and you feel it instantly. And this is doing something very, very similar. The recovery of protein homeostasis by enhanced heat activation, in other words, restoring balance to the body, has been shown to happen in both mouse and human stem cells. So this hyperthermia goes deep into the bone, and when it goes into the bone, it starts to produce stem cells, and stem cells are a key to anti-aging, a key to being younger, a key to healing ourselves, to regenerating and rejuvenating the body. All right, let's see what some of your questions or comments are here. This is interesting when it comes to the leg veins. When one has the veins injected to reduce the size, you must not expose any area to the sun. Is there any reason why one would need to avoid sun after treatment? I think that has to do with that specific type of medical treatment. If I'm not mistaken, that's why that needs to happen. I don't think it's at all related to the nature of the vein. And I've never heard anybody needing to avoid the sun after a terahertz treatment. Have you heard of that, Benet?
No, I have not. Not at all.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I was going to ask about the varicose veins. I can't wait to use it for this. Well, we're going to show you some more pictures tonight that will knock your socks off, and you'll be very motivated to do it. So let's also see, there's a couple of questions in the Q&A. My brother has multiple myeloma and will be having stem cell therapy at Stanford in the next few months. Well, heck, I wonder if doing some terahertz, if that you possibly could do some terahertz for him. I'll be staying with him and using the terahertz. Very exciting. I'm glad you're going to be staying with him. I'm glad you're going to bring all of your terahertz tools with you. So that's going to be very exciting. We certainly look forward to hearing how he does and really hope for his very, very fast and speedy recovery. So I want to mention a couple of specials for tonight. We're going to be having, now this is not two of the 7.0s. This is going to be a 7.0 and, like I said, a 6.0. So Sherry, you might want to take advantage of this. We're combining them for a very special discount. Just got to turn my camera off for 1 second, so I'm going to keep talking here. And this is something you could give to a friend, a loved one, somebody you want to be able to utilize the terahertz. And it's just as wonderful as the 7.0. It just has a couple of less controls. So the controls are a little bit less. You just basically have do you have 3 controls with that one, Benet?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so you actually do have 3. I'm going to get it on camera in just a second. So you have 3 controls. It's a little bit of less power, but it's a wonderful starter unit. It's something you could keep as a backup. It's something you may want to travel with because it's a little bit smaller, and it's still a wonderful quality. So we can show this on camera. So that's got, what is it then? It's low and high fan.
It's the same as the 7.0 in terms of the fan and the heats and so forth. It's just the switch is different.
Oh, so what happens? What's the first?
Yeah, the first one's the same as the 7.0, second one is the same, and third one's the same.
It's the same. It's just a different switch.
It's just a different switch.
Oh, so it has as many controls as the 7.0. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So that's wonderful. So it's not just an on-off switch, it's just as many switches. It's a beautiful unit. It's just as well made as any of the other terahertz. And we're offering a wonderful price to get both of them. And check the chat for something additional that could make it even more special. But you can get this today, and you can get both of them, and then you have a backup or something to give to a friend. We also have another special, which is instead of our double play, we actually have a triple play. So you may want to take advantage of that. And the triple play includes actually the core box, and it includes the 7.0 and includes the 6.0. So The other day, people realized like what a small difference it is to get the triple play versus getting two of the units, like a core box and a wand. Oh wow, just for a little bit more, I could get the 6.0. And so we had a couple of people who were like very, very much thinking about, wow, that would be a better deal for me. So they've got a lot of interest in that. And I'm going to pop something into the chat here. If anybody's thinking about it, you may want to check this out. So those are the specials for this week. And good to know about that. I love the quality of both of these. I hope anybody who's gotten our products probably knows that the quality, you can really feel it when you're holding it in your hand. It's not heavy, but you can just feel that it's well made. Okay, so we got that. And then I want to talk a little bit more about some testimonials for today. We'd love to receive your testimonial at Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com, and we'd love to share your story of using the terahertz, and we're going to talk about some of them right now. Oh, one more thing about terahertz is it may help to work with your DNA, and that may be due to the combination of the hyperthermia and the terahertz. So terahertz frequency appears to enhance hydrogen bond vibrations, leading to enhanced protein folding and induce the DNA damage response. So it may help to trigger or signal something within the DNA to help it to repair. And it triggers it may, I'm going to say it may, what the preliminary information is showing that it may trigger the expression of something called P53, which is a tumor suppressor gene. So overall, it seems to have many positive cellular benefits. Now, remember, these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. We're not making any claims about this product to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease, but we do think it synchronizes an array of hydroelectrical voltage properties such as the aquaporin water channels, like the calcium channel, the sodium channel, the potassium channel, the ATPase ion channel, and it helps to maintain membrane voltage, which is the membrane is around your cell. It's the boundary around your cell that allows in certain nutrition and excretes out certain metabolic waste. And it's when the cell membrane is very healthy that your whole body stays healthy and you prevent the development of cancer. Well, the cell membrane health is related to voltage. If you're eating good foods, you're thinking good thoughts, you're drinking lots of good water, maybe some terahertz charged water, you have good electrical voltage in your body. And when you have good electrical voltage in your body, you have good electrical voltage in your cell membranes, and they work better. They create energy better, they allow in the nutrition that you need, and they excrete all the metabolic waste. So our body and cells need this specific voltage, which terahertz seems to support. Now, some testimonials. I had a bout of vasculitis, which looks very unpleasant, and I wanded the 10 main areas for 2 minutes and my legs for about 20 minutes. And in just 2 days, this is the result. I've been suffering from vasculitis for 5 years due to an autoimmune condition, and this has changed the quality of my life. So you can see the redness here, and you can see how it's raised. And then in just a couple of sessions, she went to what you're seeing below in the third picture. So that looks so much more comfortable. Wanding for 14 days in a row, actually, 14 days in a row. Isn't that amazing, Bené?
That is amazing. And think about how the alternative to this is
right. All the medications.
Fill your body full of drugs. That's the only solution that
that's the only other solution that they offer, that's really going to throw off your cell voltage.
Yeah, exactly. It brings it down. It suppresses it.
It totally does. And it doesn't fix the problem. It just suppresses all the symptoms.
Nope.
So never really resolve the issue. So how wonderful to have such a great tool to do something so positive.
And when you were talking about the DNA issue before, which I found very interesting, I'm liking that you found that. You're such a good researcher in the first place. But when you think about it, we are creating with the terahertz and the wands and the box, oxygen. So
right, with the negative ions, we're creating negative ions.
Why wouldn't the cell membranes be enhanced?
Right, that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Exactly.
There's a question here from Sherry. Do the wands emit light and heat? They sure do. I don't know if I can show this on camera, but you can see there with the blue light. They do. And the wand, I like having both the wand and the box. I want the box because I want the 5 terahertz chips. I want the red light and the blue light, and I want to switch back and forth between red and blue. So I want that ability to do that. So what are the dogs are getting out of hand there? And then what I want is I want the wand because the wand does go to a higher heat setting. And there are days that I want that real warm blast of heat and the fan and the blue light together. And so I find that I use both of them. What do you think, Benet?
I have them both. I use them both. And besides the 5 terahertz chips, I also like the 4 elements. Those are not
the mineral elements in the core box.
They're not found in the wand either. And I do know that it softens everything. There's just a different feel, with the box over the wand, and they're both good to use together.
I'm really talking today more about I really love the warmth, I guess because the cooler weather here in Portland, but there is something special about the warmth of the wand that you don't really know until you experience it. And I think also the shape of the wand gets things very, very laser focused. So if you're working on something that you really need a physical issue, maybe in a joint, or you're working to really heal something at a laser sort of focus on something, the wand is good to have for that purpose. Okay, so let's look at some other testimonials. Great questions, you guys. Thank you. Look at this one, Benet.
Oh my gosh.
Look how uncomfortable that must have been for all of that inflammation and the lack of blood flow through the vessels. And whoever, is made this improvement must be so happy out there. If you've made this improvement, you're probably just like gleeful. And we're so happy for you because this is painful. And not, like we said, there's not a lot of really great solutions.
Look at the color of the skin and versus the two. And if you can't see or know or imagine that the one on the left is lacking oxygen big time. I mean, that's just a real good illustration and a picture of that.
Yeah. Yep. And then this one is not as profound, but you could see it in the lines, her vertical lines here, and then you can see it in the bags under the eyes. What do you think?
There are subtle differences. So I've always said to anybody that, I'm dealing with, if you want to rejuvenate, and reduce the wrinkles or the brown spots, on your face.
Liver spots. What are called liver spots.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, look, I think she said, this is like a very short amount of time, 1 week apart from wanding. Now, of course, be careful not to wand right into your eyes. Don't do that. But you could definitely, this is something you would pay to have Botox to do. With these vertical lines here, and this has come down quite a bit. Exactly. And then she just looks healthier, she looks like she's better oxygenated. And also there was another part, sort of her face, the eyes specifically, below the eyes, the bags under the eyes are so much better. So she says she didn't get it for beauty, but it's like looking so much better. So that's very, very satisfying. But when your body is more healthy, when oxygen is flowing through your body, your skin heals and your skin gets better and your skin is healthier because more oxygen and blood is perfusing through your skin as well as the rest of your body. So people are going to say to you, what are you doing? You look way younger. Like, what's happening? Just like, I'm just using my wand. I'm using my core box and it's just happening. Okay, another one. This might be hard to see. So it looks like
I see it.
This was the end of 2022, and this is the beginning of 2023. But yeah, you can see that sort of telangiectasia, spider vein. And this is another thing that people go for laser therapy and pay a lot of money, $400 or $500 just for that one series of sessions. And they usually have to go back and do it again. This so you can keep working on yourself over and over and over again. So Really, really cool to see. And then another one here. So it's the top and the bottom. So you can see that this is a big difference between this top one and this lower one. And
And
you
I mean,
can, you can,
don't be fooled by the pictures either. Literally, the lighting, some people might say, oh, well, that's just the lighting on the top, you know. No, I've seen pictures with skin issues over and over and over again. It can't be just the lighting. There, it's literally more of a gray skin tone. And when they start using the wand and see the results, it pinks up. It brightens up.
that's
That's
really
not
cool.
lighting. That's the truth.
And it's blue light that has that a specific affinity for the collagen, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is going to help your skin to be healthier because the loss of the collagen is what causes the wrinkles and the aging. Yeah, I like this with the picture of the ankle because you can actually see this the birthmark right here, and so you know it's the same up and down. Like that's actually kind of miraculous. That's a miraculous change, and then you see the more subtle change here. So everybody wants their ankles and their legs and everything to look better and worries, as you age that these things are going to change. And we've told people in naturopathic medicine to take bioflavonoids, to take some hesperidin and these type of C complexes like you get in the pith of the grapefruit, but you're not going I don't think you're going to get as fast a result. I mean, those things are good to have because they help to reduce capillary fragility. So they do help to make the blood vessels stronger and it's good to take. But this is something that is going to be faster. I think it's going to be more visual where you're going to be able to see it faster. And it's not just skin deep. This isn't happening just at the surface for something cosmetic. This is happening because a much deeper level of health is starting to change. And that's exciting.
It is. It really is.
All right. Can you use blue light for the veins? What do you think,
I
Benay?
think if it were me, I'd use both. I would use both
Use
blue
the
and
blue light and the red light.
yeah. In
You
fact,
could
I do
use,
that very commonly. Even in pre-massaging, I'll go to work and I'll go up and down the back with the blue light, and then
Mhm.
I'll switch it and go, to the red, unless I'm using the wand. You got to remember the wand doesn't have the blue light.
You mean the wand doesn't have the red light?
The red, yeah.
And so there's nothing negative. You don't have to associate red light with irritating or over stimulating the veins in any way. So you don't have to just use the red light. I mean, the blue light. Red light doesn't have that effect. In fact, you can even use red light before bedtime. And I've done this many times. And it does actually promote the health of your mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of your cell, but it doesn't stimulate or keep you awake in any way, and it wouldn't irritate or inflame the veins. It would be more likely to have just the opposite effect. Okay, and that might be it for the testimonials. So I don't have too much more. We can go over some of the things from last week. Anything this week that you saw or anything that you wanted to bring to people's attention, Benay?
I I have not. In fact, I haven't had much activity with others because of my crazy storm recovery and other things that are happening over here. But no, unfortunately, I don't. But maybe some of the other people can put their ideas in the chat. Surely somebody who's got their, devices or whatever, they've got something that they could actually tell us in the
Well, if anybody wants to share anything, we can open up the microphone and we could have you share your testimonial or share your experience. So if anybody wants to do that, let us know in the chat, or if there's another question that you would like to ask about, we can just go through this and review some of the points that we've talked about in the past and maybe mention them. I am going to get an ebook together so that we have some little processes that you can do, some little session strategies that you can follow and look at the points and do them. But the good thing is that you really can't do this the wrong way. So wherever you're terahertzing, it's going to have a positive benefit for you. You're going to feel the results pretty much instantly. You can't go wrong with any of the things that we have, any of the tools that we have here. We're going to show a couple of them in a moment here. In fact, let me just show this properly, and you might have some questions, so we'll take your questions, but you could use the terahertz. This is the terahertz, as I mentioned, this is the 7.0. Go ahead and turn that on. And the blue light, you see with the blue light here. And it's got several controls. It's just got a little bit more power. It's got the blue light, but it's also got 1,000. What do you think is the main difference of having that 250 watts more power? Do you think you just heal faster with it?
I think it's blowing and penetrating faster. You don't have to use it as long. And the other thing, the crystal quartz that's in that shaft, the shaft is a little bit longer in the 7.0.
That's true. That's actually true.
So you have a little bit more quartz crystal. And quartz crystal, one of the big things with that gemstone is it has magnification. It magnifies. So there's a little bit more of that extension on that front end of that 7.
So the longer that is, then the more it's actually being able to focus the energy. Okay, so that makes sense. So that was sort of the improvement on it. So let's just go ahead, and I just want to make sure this was plugged in here. And so we have this one as well, 6.0, and has that blue light as well. Together, sort of the comparison, just a little bit longer than the other one. Well, they're very, very similar. So you can, like I said, get both of them for the reduced price, or you can get all three of them together. That seems to be something that's been tempting people to get all three. All right, so we're going to go back to our shared screen. We're going to go back to some of your questions here, and we just got to bring this up right here, which is back there. Okay, so let's see some of your questions. Does it matter how far you hold the box from your body?
No, I mean, I've noticed that some people are sensitive to heat. Some people, if I get it too close, they say, oh, it's a little too hot. Well, then back it off. Other times it's too cool and they want it closer. It's a matter of their own skin sensitivity when it comes to the use of that.
This is my second time on the call. Hi, Glenna. Thank you for joining us. Can you recap the difference between blue and red light? I have the wand with blue light only. So blue light is good for infections, good for stimulating the immune system, good for collagen, good for the health of the skin. It's been used for psoriasis, eczema, different skin conditions historically. Red light is very good for stimulating the mitochondria of the body. And I think it's been used for pain as well, red light. What are some of your ideas about the difference between red light and blue light, Benet?
No, and just then my dogs start to bark. I think you said it very precisely and concisely. Some of the key differences between the blue and the red. Yes.
I think we have some slides here, so I'm going to see if we can get some slides on the actual color. We talked about these points again last week and the lymphatic points. And there we go. So the power of red light. Here you go, Glenna. This one's for you. Combats neurological disease, increases fat loss. You got to love that. Red light fights depression and anxiety, and you only need short exposures to the red light. You need maybe a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Your body gets the encoded information and starts to utilize it. So it doesn't need to be on constantly. Be amazed that, just the chain reaction of a little bit of light information can be transformative. And try to remember, less can be more. Helps with hair loss. Now, we've seen a lot of those pictures of people using the Terahertz technology where their hair was actually falling out, thinning, coming out in the shower, and now they're using the Terahertz on a regular basis. And amazingly, they're not having the hair thin, they're not having it fall out. We've seen pictures of hair actually growing back. That's really, really exciting. Probably means the whole body is improving overall, and it's being shown in the health of the hair. Okay, speeds healing from injury, reverses skin aging. It does also have an effect on the collagen. Reduces wrinkles, increases the epithelial layer, helps to repair the epithelial layer, which is the surface layer of the skin. and speeds up wound healing. And I think we have some blue light slides as well. Go right ahead.
Antimicrobial, yeah.
So for the blue light, it helps with the immune system. It's anti-pathogenic or antimicrobial. So we gave some suggestions previously, like if you have blue light, you could take it and you could just wand over your tummy, and that could potentially help with any gut infections, or you could wand around your jaw to ward off like tooth infections, right? Infections in the mouth. And you could do it, a friend, or if you have one of those stands, you could do it around the back or the lower back for sort of the kidney area. And this wouldn't be something you would use in a medical emergency, but it'd be more preventative and to keep your immune system nice and strong. All right, so I think we had this one on red light. So cysts the mitochondria, reduces wrinkles, hair growth. We kind of talk about that, may clear acne, although we said that interestingly enough about blue light as well. And there we go.
That's kind of why I go back and forth with both the blue and the red.
Yeah, we use both interchangeably, back and forth, and get the variation in the theme. That's really one thing that's nice about the core box. You can get the blue light and the red light. Bonnie says, when doing raindrop therapy, do you prefer the wand over the box? Do you use them?
I don't prefer either one. I will use either one for that.
And do you yourself do raindrop therapy in your practice, Benay?
Yeah.
Have you used the wand with the raindrop therapy?
Yeah, I do that before somebody had said something about with the raindrop on their feet. Now, honestly, you've given me an idea. I didn't even think about wanding the feet. I just have always gone to work, and because in raindrop you start with the feet, is why she's saying that. And then because you've got the spine map on the bottom of your feet, and that's where raindrop actually starts, is at the bottom of the feet. I like that idea, Dominga. And then, but I have always, when I have them turn, face down, then the very first thing I do is either wand, Terahertz, either way, either device, Terahertz the whole back, the legs if necessary, arms, wherever. But I'll do all of that for 5 minutes. Then I'll go into the raindrop technique itself.
Okay, that's very good. That's awesome. Well, I think we're getting some new ideas here from even talking about it, which is really exciting, kind of cool. So great ideas, everybody. We're such a smart group in our Genius Terahertz community. And Sandra says, should we use the end of the wand? If so, what on? I'm not sure what she means by that. The end of the wand.
I think she's wondering whether or not that blue light has got to be pointed to wherever you are blowing. The point is, don't think of it so, I don't know what is the right word. So analytical, maybe?
Right. So literally.
Yeah, the terahertz frequencies are being blown no matter where they're being felt, on the body, in the air, through the air, to the body. The blue light, yes, if you have an area like those spider veins, you'd want to point that blue light directly on those for something like that. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's the terahertz frequencies are blowing, the body is receiving it, and don't worry about being so specific, I guess.
Nice. That's a very, very good explanation. I like that though. Okay. And is the wand, similar question sort of, is the wand used with the light pointed at the skin?
Well, I think I just answered that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a similar vein there. You want to get the blue light pointed at the place that you want it to have the most effect. And remember, you can use the wand in a circular motion. You can use it in an up and down, like sort of sweep the whole body, from head to foot. And then if you're working on a specific area, like maybe around like the kidneys or the back or a spinal segment, then you could do it as side to side. So there's all different types of ways that you can use it. But yeah, you do kind of want to focus it on the area that you want. Remember, skin to skin, or light to skin, basically, you want to get a skin application when you can. Obviously, if you're working on friend, client, doesn't matter if they're clothed, then they're still going to get the benefit. But when you're working on yourself, try to get the terahertz directly onto the skin. And then also remember to terahertz directly into the water, with glass being more desirable than, certainly, like, you don't want a terahertz metal, like a metal or stainless steel. So terahertz your water in glass, and then you could pour it into a different container. But as Benet has taken the time to really mention, make sure that you're holding this glass, and so there's the water, that your terahertz directly into the water. You don't want to have to like terahertz to the glass. Make sure it goes directly to the water. Do I have that right, Benet?
Yeah, you do. I just think it's more beneficial. I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to hurt to do it through the glass. Don't misunderstand, or the glass isn't going to block it. But I think you're actually getting a more potent effect in the water if you literally hold it over and above the water.
Now, Kajel, I mean, I know I'm saying your name wrong. I think she joins us from Sweden. Perhaps she says something so funny. You must vacuum the inlet of the appliance. There will be a lot of dust, risk of overheating. Now, where are you terahertzing? Are you terahertzing in the middle of the Sahara Desert? Where is all this dust coming from? You shouldn't build up that much dust, but you do make a very good point. Do keep your wand very, very clean. Do keep the core box clean. You do want to be careful. If it was pulling in dust just like a fan, it would be making the motor work much harder. So you do want to keep it nice and clean. So that is a very good tip. Is
Yeah.
there a site that it has explanatory info regarding the raindrop therapy? I think you can just Google raindrop therapy these days, and there's so many Young Living oil distributors that probably have it explained. What do you think, Benet?
You can, but having been involved in Young Living for a good number of years, the original technique was developed, and it's longer, by Dr. Gary Young. So if you do a Google search for raindrop technique by Gary Young, you'll get a better, good, full video of what's all involved with that. Everybody's gone to work and abbreviated it. And I have found that the abbreviation of it has not brought the same effect as the full technique that Gary Young initially came up with.
Well, do you have the full, like a PDF of the full treatment?
I don't have a PDF. I have an old, we're getting past
one of the essential oil manuals.
DVDs. I've actually got.
Oh, okay, got it. I remember those. Yeah, that was a while back. Let me see what I have. One of the essential oil handbook. I wonder if that one has it in there. The desk reference.
The desk reference talks about the raindrop. I can't remember if there's enough pictures. What's really good is to actually see the technique performed. Which
all right. Well, you're all going to have to fly to Texas to see Benet do it in person, then, or to receive it in person from Benet.
Do a search on YouTube, but my advice would be, when you pull up raindrop technique, do the words by Dr. Gary Young and see. You can't find a longer a longer YouTube video that actually shows what the original technique involved, rather than everybody shortened it.
Okay. Got shorter and shorter. I'll see what I can come up with, and maybe we can get a PDF to everyone and talk about how to use the terahertz before raindrop therapy or something like that. Do you, raindrop therapy, I know you're doing the application on the back. I wonder what it would be like to do the application on the back and then also have those essential oils running through the terahertz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we can put the essential oils in the box, on a cotton swab or the felt, in the hole. I don't like taking that red piece out. I'll put it on a cotton ball or a.
Right. You've mentioned that. So I'll see what I can find out. Well, Carrie says she's north of Dallas. She might come see you for a session.
I see that. And then I told her I'm near Tyler, Texas. I'm actually Miranda Lambert country. I'm over here by Lindale, Texas. If you know, that's where Miranda Lambert came from.
Probably all those Texans know exactly where that is. And the rest of us have absolutely no clue whatsoever. Right. I want to make sure we give people links for the terahertz in just a moment here. Okay, so there's been a lot of going back and forth here, very, very knowledgeable folks here. When I terahertz water in a pitcher, how long does the water retain the frequencies?
Huh. Well, I would hope that it would retain them for all day, but I'm not going to drink water that I've terahertzed yesterday. I'm just going to re-terahertz it
Yeah,
today.
why not freshen up your water with yeah, I feel like with the Genius you can charge up water and it kind of lasts a long time. But I feel like with the terahertz, because you want that kind of visceral effect of the light and the frequency, and you have it right there. I kind of have the sense, just like Benet, you should have it as freshly terahertzed as possible. I
Yeah,
mean, the frequencies probably last for a while, so they're still in there, but for the best benefit for you, I would say terahertz and then drink it within a short amount of time. Is that what you do?
that is exactly what I do. And then
Okay, yeah.
re-terahertz another. But it's not to say that you couldn't do a pitcher of it and then drink from that pitcher all day long. I'm just saying I think it's going to maybe be more powerful the sooner after you've terahertzed.
Absolutely. No, that's really cool. There's been really good questions to this evening. I'm really happy for these very good questions.
There has been, yes.
And if possible, use a glass pitcher. Don't use plastic. Don't use any other material. Use glass. Glass is the best if you can. And obviously terahertz directly into the water and not through the pitcher, as we've been saying.
Right.
Yeah. These have been okay. How about porcelain?
Well, to me, porcelain's the second best to glass. I don't mind
Hmm.
porcelain. What do you say, Dr. Ariel?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. As long as it's not somebody saying stainless steel. Okay,
Although
cut flowers. Cut flowers. That's a good idea. Love the wanded water. The last bouquet lasted 3 weeks from terahertz water. That's
see,
amazing.
we need to get more involvement from all of you guys on these sessions. That's cool. I never heard of that before.
You know, has anybody used terahertz water on their houseplants? That would be amazing, right?
I know of a testimony that has happened. Yes.
But tell
I
me about it. Tell us about it.
I may even, if I don't have the pictures, my girlfriend probably does. I may have the pictures. I think she texted them to me. She literally, and I think it was a tomato plant. She had a tomato plant that somebody gave the water to, and then the other plant didn't get the water. And I mean, holy fright, if the plant was this big that didn't get it, the plant that did get it was this tall.
That's amazing. That's so
I
cool.
mean,
Wow, I'd love to see that picture.
I'll have to try to remember to find that. If I don't have it, I'm going to ask her, do you have it? Give it to me again, you know?
All right. Well, we do have Paula was nice enough to send a before and after, and I have to sort of download it and bring it up. So let me see if I can download it. Paula was very kind, and she's the one who brought us the testimonial of the Boston Terrier last week. So she has given us this picture to share. So this is a
Okay.
before terahertzing. Whoops. There we go. This is finally we got an aura picture. We would love to get anybody else who wants to share their aura picture because we're going to do a giveaway. So please, now you'll have 2 weeks to send them in. We'd love to get a before and after. So this is her before, and I gotta kind of mess around with this. So then she sent the after, which looks beautiful. So we'd love to see your before and after. I think she went back out and did a new voice and picture after getting this one. So then we've got this one after the terahertz, and there's the after, and we'll pull them so we can see the before and after. So thank you, Paula, for being so generous and sharing your experiences with the dog, experiences with the aura. Like that's really nice of you. So it's so much more muddied in
Wow.
this one, and it's more kind of blurred, and it doesn't look like it's the same level of vital force. And then after wanding, you've got this beautiful crisp purple, nice bright green, even some pinks coming through a little bit more. It just seems like the vital force is a lot stronger in the second one versus the first one.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'd love to see your before and after. So please send it to Ariel at Genius Biofeedback. And we're going to give away our triple layer remedy plates. So if nobody else enters, I'm just going to go right to Paula. So this is going to be the default, the de facto winner. I've started using Terahertz water for my houseplant. So Agnes, we'd love to hear back from you about how it goes. Oh, Carrie says I've been using water on my microgreens and it speeds up the germination. Wow, I bet those are going to bring you a lot of good health and wellness. Penny says I used it to warm newborn piglets that were born in the cold. Are you a farmer? Do you live on a farm and you're have all these wonderful animals? We'd love to hear how your piglets do. They're being born. Those are really very lucky little piglets that they get to have terahertz therapy and genius therapy. They're lucky. So you're into animal husbandry. All right, so I just sent a before and after aura. Okay, I'll see if I can look at it while we're sort of wrapping up here, or we may have to get it and look at it for next week. I'll look at it, see if I can look at it quickly while we're sort of wrapping things up here. So we do have 2 specials, and if you check out the chat, we have something else in there as well. But we do have really special pricing if you want to get 2 of the wands together, or if you're going to get 2 of the wands and then the box, we have some special pricing as well. I probably won't get to that, but I will show it, Carrie, and we'll save it for 2 weeks from today. That way I can take the time and look at it. But people please do send more of the aura before and after, because we would love to take a look at them. Okay, so Penny says, yep. And I even gave ozone treatments to a yak. That is hilarious. I will send my aura pic. I missed last week's session. Yeah, okay, Carrie will look at yours. Penny will look at yours. Please send, because we are going to do a giveaway at random. We'll do a drawing, and we're going to give away that $300 triple remedy plate. So if you want to win a $300 item of a remedy plate, which has some really cool sacred geometry on it, then be sure to send us your before and after aura picture. Now we are going to be gone for the next 2 weeks. We'll be back on March 28th. Meanwhile, I'll try to maybe upload some short videos to keep people interested about little snippets about terahertz technology. But, you know, keep on using your terahertz. It's really, really special technology. Do you have any final thoughts, Benet?
Well, I think for a 2-week break, we're going to have 2 weeks longer that these people who already have these devices to use. And I think we should ask, bring your ideas and your results and everything into the chat, you know, when we do come back in 2 weeks. The other place is, if you don't realize that on Dr. Ariel's, where the terahertz can be purchased, there's a review button. It doesn't say testimonial. It just says review. So if you're wanting to put a testimonial, that's what you click on. Click the review, and that would be great for us to see some of those as well because of this 2-week break. You got 2 more weeks to use it. Let's see
Okay.
what other.
That's really good, Benet. That's actually excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll send that out. We'll sort of help people in an email to know where to go. And if you do the review, then you can be part of our contest as well. Can we use it over the Genius when running clients? Over the Genius. Sandra, I'm going to assume you mean along with the Genius when you're doing clients, and absolutely you can use them both simultaneously. Have you used them together for yourself, Benet?
Definitely, because you can. A couple of webinars ago, Dr. Ariel went through the idea of, you know, incorporating the meridians. Go into the Genius after you've scanned them and look up the meridian points that are coming up in the Genius and terahertz those points. Or also in the spinal column section, spinal energy, go to work and see once if L5, C6, you know, wand over the top of those areas because they're coming up. And also run the Genius at the same time. Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Penny says she sent her aura pictures. Penny, better send us a piglet picture too. We want to see the piglets that got the terahertz. That'll make a great picture for our presentation as well.
I agree.
Well, we'll be in touch by email. We'll talk about the contest, talk about how to enter, talk about how to enter your aura pictures, and we do need more reviews. So if you go to geniusbiofeedback.com and you find any of the terahertz technology, you can leave us a review. We certainly do appreciate it. So Benet, thank you very much for joining me and helping me with class tonight. It's always
Thank
wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
And we'll see everybody on the 28th of March. Have a good night, everyone. Take care and be well. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.